This is it. This is the end. It's time for the manga to go. It's all coming off the shelf. It's got to move. It's got to move. It's got to go. I am only joking. This is not the end of my manga collecting. Basically, every 5 years, if you live in rented accommodation, you have to have your plug sockets checked to make sure that the polarities or something are all good. Make sure there's no faults with your electrics, basically. Unfortunately for me, that's tomorrow. And unfortunately, my plug socket is behind my shelf. In fact, they're behind 3 of my shelves located around my room. When I say the plug sockets need checking, they need to plug one of these into my plugs and make sure that all 3 of these lights turn on, which says, oh good, you're good to go. But again, it means I've got to take apart my shelves and move them, which is a task and a half, and that is exactly what I'm going to be doing today. Okay, this is it. The moment of truth. I haven't seen behind this shelf in a while. Probably about 2 years. So hopefully there's not like a nest of spiders living back there or anything. Because if there is, I'm going to leave this room so fast. So if I shift it this way to the side, I should be able to turn it out. Because I'm hoping. I really don't want to move this shelf as well. Yeah, we're clear, we're clear, we're clear. Whew. Okay, well, we almost lost the volume of Tokyo Ghoul. We're good, we're good. Nothing broke, nothing broke. So, falling off the shelf just then, I must have knocked it with the shelf, was my Prague. My Czech edition of Tokyo Ghoul Volume 1 that I picked up on my trip to Prague recently. But nothing broke. It's all good. It's all good. I got this lovely acrylic stand. And that's actually my Japanese volume of Tokyo Ghoul that fell off the shelf, not the Czech volume. Whew, okay, I have seen it. There is definitely a plug socket down there. If I just moved that and it was behind this one, I would not have been happy. It gets very hot in this room underneath the big light that I have at the back of the room. It is very warm in here right now. Okay, so the manga room looks very strange with the big gap in it. But there is the plug socket that I need access to. And annoyingly, if I turn those both on, because I've got one of these myself, I can actually see there's 1, 2, 3 lights. That's all good. And so is that one. But because I'm not a professional and I'm not trained to do this, that doesn't count. So I've got to leave that shelf there until tomorrow when I can put it all back, once they've come to test it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get them to do this room first, I think. Because then I can put everything back while they're doing the other rooms. But I also need to get down here into this corner. We can see down there is a plug socket, which is where the light is plugged into. So I need to get down into that corner. And there's another plug socket, which is where this extension cord here is plugged into, which is behind the comic shelf. So I only need to move 2 shelves and kind of the table, or at least the boxes, so we can get under the table to get in there to test that socket. I took a short break after doing the first shelf to read a bit of manga. I'm currently reading Kimono Jihen Volume 8, and I also made a start on the editing for this video, so I didn't have too much to do tomorrow. So this is what the manga room looks like now. I have got all of my comic boxes out from way down in the corner, down there. And I've got all of my manga from the shelf, organised into the corner and on the table. First thing tomorrow morning, I've got to move that shelf so that I can get to the plug socket behind there for the testing. But so far, this is what the manga room looks like. It looks very strange not having the shelf in the corner, and I can't wait to get it back there. So it is the second day, and the people to do the sockets are actually meant to be here right now. So I'm going to try and get as much of this off of this shelf and try and get this moved before they get here. So I'm going to switch to the 360 and just time lapse this. Alright, that is the shelf completely cleared off. The plan is I'm going to move this one to just here. So right next to it, just so they can get to the plugs and it's easy for me to move back in without having to move too much stuff. And then once these sockets have been tested, and hopefully I'm allowed to show you guys what that looks like, I can shift these shelves back into place. Whew. Okay, so that's both of the shelves moved, meaning that I can now get to the plug socket that is just down there, the one that is down in that corner, and the one down there is nice and easy to get to. But sorting all of this back onto the shelves, again, is going to be a task and a half. And honestly, maybe not all of these comics are going to go back on the shelf, as I want to get an actual nice display of those. So the guy did actually let me film him testing one of the sockets, and I can confirm it is a lot more complex than just plugging one of these in. He did explain it to me as well. So what he's doing here is an R1/R2 test, which tests the earth on the sockets, which tests the resistance. He also did a load of stuff with my breaker and testing all the lights, seeing if anything was going to blow, seeing if any cables were touching. It was a whole electrical test, not just a plug socket test. But it is all done and we passed. So it's time to get everything back on the shelf. And because I love making these videos, I've got some shelving ASMR for you today. So that's one side of the room back to normal, which now just leaves me with the comic book shelf to organise. I might be a while organising this shelf, so let's use some editing magic to just see it done. After a lot of rearranging and a lot of digging through boxes and getting some stuff out of boxes, putting some stuff in boxes, I think I'm happy with the comic book shelf. I'll probably move it around again in the future, and I'm actually planning to get a second comic shelf because there's just more that I want to put on display that I don't physically have space for on that shelf anymore. So yeah, I might have to start thinking about what to put on the other side of the room because there's a lot of empty space. I'm thinking about maybe doing a comic book wall with some command strip hooks and some of the vinyl holders. My friend Jamie over at Hot Dog Comics, he's done exactly that. So I might copy him. But overall, I'm very glad to be back on YouTube after a very long 2-year break of doing TikTok. But since I've officially left TikTok now, I am back on YouTube, and I'm ready to make more content just like this. I cannot wait. We got comic reviews on the way. We got unique independent comic book store showcases, potentially even interviews with comic store owners. I'm working on a lot behind the scenes at the minute, and I cannot wait to share that with you guys in long form. I cannot wait. So if you're new around here, subscribe, hit the notification, and keep an eye out for the posts to come. Thank you.